But allow me, first of all, to set the stage by saying that the European Union is working around the clock on several axes to ensure that not only the Europeans, but also the rest of the world can be vaccinated as quickly as possible, because this is our best shot to leave the pandemic behind us, or at least to control it. So first of all, it is focused, as you know, on providing vaccines for Europeans, and there we have a very clear target of vaccinating at least 70% of the adult population in July. Secondly, and at the same time, this is not something which will come after we would have completed the vaccination of Europeans. So from the beginning, from when we started to deliver vaccines for Europeans, we were equally active on delivering vaccines, or on supporting the delivery of vaccines to low and middle income countries through COVAX. And thirdly, we also have bilateral donations with our partners and neighbors and with countries in need. So it's not that one has priority over the other. We are fully focused on vaccinating the Europeans, and at the same time, in parallel, we are working to help vaccinate the lower and middle income countries through the various mechanisms that I mentioned, in particular COVAX. And here I would like to give the floor to Anna to tell us where we are on COVAX and the deliveries of vaccines with a major EU contribution in terms of financing. Anna, are you there?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, all good. Go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Thanks so much, Master, for the question. So indeed, as Dana has explained, the European Union as a whole, Team Europe as a whole, has invested a lot in COVAX, in the COVAX facility. We are a leading contributor. We have increased to 2.47 billion euros our contribution to help COVAX deliver safe and effective vaccines for the lower and middle income countries. To date, well, you know, the objective of COVAX, which is to be able to deliver 2 billion doses by the end of the year to all participant countries. And at least we're talking about 1.3 billion doses for the lower and middle income countries. To date, we see that COVAX deliveries are picking up speed, thanks also to this Team Europe effort. We have over 49 million doses that have been delivered already to 121 countries by COVAX to date. As you've said, we're also working in parallel to with our member states. As the Commission, we're facilitating discussions and coordinating the process. Sharing vaccines with partners is not only, of course, about international solidarity, but it is also in the EU's own interests, because this will help us, of course, to accelerate vaccination everywhere, which is key, safe and effective vaccination, and also, of course, to help break the vicious circle of and the risk of new mutations, and so finally reducing the health risk for all. And as you probably are aware already, some of our member states have already announced that they will be sharing doses through COVAX. France actually announced, I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, that they will be donating overall 500,000 vaccines doses to COVAX by mid-June. I think you maybe also heard as well the Spanish Prime Minister Sanchez also announcing that Spain intends to share between 5 and 10% of its doses to COVAX. And today also we're expecting the announcement that Sweden will also be donating 1 million doses to COVAX. So member states are, of course, free to donate through COVAX. We have also seen examples where member states are sharing directly to partner countries, and we've seen in particular the example of Romania that has already shared with Moldova over 200,000 doses, and this was thanks also to the coordination of the EU's civil protection mechanism. And here my colleague Balázs has informed you of this already some weeks ago. So indeed, we're working on many different fronts, as Dana has said, in order to be able to not only vaccinate European citizens, but also very much help to to vaccinate in our partner countries. And maybe here I would just like to recall that today Commissioner Vahey is also traveling to the Western Balkans, where of course the EU, thanks also to the cooperation of Austria, has been able to secure 651,000 doses to help vaccinate medical workers and vulnerable groups in the Western Balkans. And these were, of course, also doses that were secured under the EU's advance purchase agreement. So indeed, we are working on many fronts to try and make sure that we can speed up safe and effective vaccination everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, of course, we have the EU civil protection mechanism, which is at the moment activated by a number of countries around the world. This is a mechanism which is always there. At the moment, we are facilitating, for example, a significant amount of help for India. Now, in particular, in terms of Brazil, I know that the country has activated the mechanism on a few occasions in the past year in the context of COVID, and I also know that we have channeled support, especially medical material, to Brazil. Now, I would need to verify if at this point in time there is an open request from Brazil and come back to you. But of course, even if this is not the case, the Brazilian authorities are always, of course, welcome to activate the mechanism. And then in that case, via our Emergency Response Coordination Center, we would be doing our best to examine the request and respond as soon as we can with as much help as we can.
Thank you very much, Balázs. I will now invite you to raise your hand if you have additional questions for Balázs on humanitarian aid and on the civil protection mechanism in particular, especially since there were many news coming from this side over the following weeks in relation to support for countries affected by the pandemic. So please keep your hand raised if you have a question for Balázs.